Hello, and thank you for tuning in to my 4-Minute Thursday series of videos. This one is talking about the Osmo Pocket 2 and specifically the focusing on that and how that works. It's the series is called 4-Minute Thursdays because the content is 4 minutes. It's all it's going to take you to find out how the focusing on your Osmo Pocket 2 works. Now, if you've got an Osmo Pocket 1, link up here will take you to the video that shows you how the Osmo Pocket 1 focusing works. And if you follow the channel, you'll probably know that I use the Osmo Pocket for most of my outdoor vlogs. In actual fact, this one. But unfortunately this now does a kind of nodding dog routine, and it now says gimbal protected, tap to resume. Yeah, in one of my videos, the photograhy video, link up here, I hope. Yeah, well, it took a nosedive, and now it does that most of the time. Sometimes it works. So I went out and bought an Osmo Pocket 2 and had to kind of re-educate myself as to how this works. And it works a little differently from the original Osmo Pocket, which is why I've put a new video together for you. Now, an interesting point of note, DJI wants us to call it the Pocket 2. Don't know why, but they do. Curiously though, they are now also printing, or not even printing, embossing the word Osmo into the product, which they didn't do on the Osmo Pocket 1. So I don't know. Answers down below in the comments as to why they may have bothered doing this and then told us all that it's no longer called the Osmo Pocket 2. Don't know. Anyway, 4 minutes is all you need to work out how to use the focusing and how all of those features work in there. Here it comes. Thanks for watching. So to swap between the autofocus modes, the easiest way of doing it is to press on the exposure corner icon up there, and then we've got this option down here that says autofocus. We just tap on it for single, tap on it for continuous. This is a new feature in the Osmo Pocket 2 because before you could only do this by going through the menus, and then it was called AFC and AFS. And of course, you need to understand what AFC and AFS mean. Here it's rather obvious: continuous autofocus, or indeed single autofocus there. Let's look at how it finds focus and where it finds focus. Bottom button there to come back to the main running of it, and focus is always looked for in the center of the frame. Now we know whether it's in single or continuous focus by the focus icon that we get up when we click on an area of the screen to focus. So the little rectangle shows us that it's a single autofocus, and if we just swap back to show you, a yellow square shows us it's continuous focus. So we'll stay in continuous focus for the moment here, and what we're going to do is move the subject. So we're just going to move that there, and you see we get the yellow box up again. It's trying to find focus right in the center, because that yellow box is where it's trying to find focus, and it notices that focus or the object has changed in the scene, so we don't have to move it a lot. Now we can move this over here and select focus on it by merely just tapping on the screen there. You see how easy that is. And again, if we move this over here, it knows that this focus point here is no longer valid, but it doesn't refocus on the vase. It focuses in the center of the frame, and it will always revert to focusing into the center of the frame, unless of course you have got tracking on. So let's put this back into the center. We'll double click on it. Did that work? Not there. Let's try again. Face track on. It thinks it's a face. Don't know why. But now we've got a green box tells us it's tracking, and indeed, as you can see, it is tracking it quite happily, and crucially, it's keeping focus on it. And I must point out that this is the most recent firmware, which is a glaring omission from my point of view, especially seeing as you could achieve this with the previous version of the camera. Now, if we go back to single focus, let's click, come on. Big screen, fat fingers don't always work. Single focus there, come back, and we select here. As we've seen earlier, it doesn't try to refocus in any way. So do be aware of which mode that you're in. For most purposes, you'd probably want to keep it in continuous autofocus, particularly if you're using the Osmo Pocket on its own as we are here without connecting it to Me mode, because it has such a tiny screen on it that it is very difficult to know whether it's in focus. Now, to lock focus, you need to press once and then press and hold on the screen. You'll get the padlock icon. Now, be aware that this is locking both the focus and the exposure. Be also aware that you cannot lock focus by using the Osmo Pocket alone. You must be connected to a phone or a tablet and be using Me mode to achieve this. Well, that's it. 4 minutes later, and you've learned all there is to know about the focusing on the Osmo Pocket. Thank you for tuning in. If this video has been useful to you, please click the like button down below. It helps the channel so much to know that you like it. Simple as that, really. Subscribe for more content, and if you want to see what the Osmo Pocket is capable of as a camera, I haven't done a lot of work with the Osmo Pocket 2 yet, but they're out there. The most recent videos, most recent vlogs are using the Osmo Pocket 2, and most of the originals are using the Osmo Pocket 1. There's a couple of them just there for you.